Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me in this live session. Guys, can you believe that 1100 Nigerians were killed in June last month? Under Tinubu's watch, guys, this is unbelievable. We have the chief of defense staff, we have we have the military, we have the president as well, and then look at what is happening. Nigerians are being killed every time. Just 1,100 and 1,100 Nigerians were killed, and then 276 were kidnapped in just 30 days. If people keep dying every day like this, if people keep dying with this kind of number, would anyone remain in this country? That's to tell you how bad insecurity has eaten up Nigeria. So another month, another chilling statistics. Over 1,100 Nigerians were killed and 276 kidnapped in just 30 days. In just 30 days under Tinubu's watch. Is this the promises that Tinubu, is this the promising is it the promises he's fulfilling? Is this what he promised us? He actually promised renewed hope. What are we seeing? What we see is mass burials, hunger, hardship. This happened under President Bola Tinubu's watch. Guys, I'm very sure that it's more than this figure, because people that die every time in this country, it is more than this figure. It is more than it, because every blessed time you keep hearing of what these bad guys are doing, how many people they killed in a day. Insecurity is now a daily trend, like a daily news trend. It's not like a daily news trend. So, I feel this figure is wrong. According to Nigerians national according to their security report, I feel this figure is so wrong. I think it's more than that, because Nigerians buy every blessed time. Guys, stay with me as I have a lot to tell you guys. And guys, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. So guys, another month, another chilling statistics. Over 1,100 Nigerians were killed and 276 kidnapped in just 30 days. In just 30 days. Under Tinubu's watch. This happened under Tinubu's watch. It was published by Sahara reporters. Terrorists, gunmen, others killed over 1,100 Nigerians, abducted 276 in June under Tinubu's watch. That's what they report. That's the report. That's the Nigerian's national security report. Me, I feel this figure is actually wrong. It should be more than that, because every blessed time people die of insecurity. Every people don't even have peace even in their own house. They don't have peace. They can't drink water and then keep their cup. No. When you're going out, you're scared. You're not even sure if you come back. When you're leaving your house to go and hustle for your daily bread to feed your children, you're scared, because you don't even know if you will come back. That is how the tension is so high in Nigeria. People die every time. So another month, another chilling statistics. Over 1,100 Nigerians killed and 276 kidnapped in just 30 days. This happened under President Bola Tinubu's watch. According to the latest report by Beacon Security and Intelligence Limited, but behind these numbers lies real stories, broken families, and a nation still grappling with decades old security threats that never seem to go away. Do you know when Boko Haram started existing? Boko Haram started existing long time ago, and that Boko Haram is still in existence despite we have the military, we have the chief of defense staff. And you're asking yourself, what is the work of the president? What is the work of the chief of defense staff? Look, the chief of defense staff promised Nigerians that he's going to catch Tuji Bello, the most wanted terrorist in Nigeria. Guys, what has happened after so many years of him being in office? What has happened? They keep buying Nigerians every time. How can they allow foreigners to come into Nigerians to buy people, and they are just watching and mopping them, seeing their citizens die every time? In this country where terrorists get amnesty, but innocent people are sacrificed. Terrorists get amnesty, but it's innocent people are sacrificed. Just June alone, look at the number of people that have, that have gone. Just June, because of these bad guys. Has it ever come a day where this, where the president can come out and say enough is enough and mean what he's saying and take action? Not to come out and say enough is enough and then nothing is done. Over every time people get missing. Do you know what it means to lose your loved ones in this country? Do you know what it means? Do you know how people died yesterday alone? 27 people died in a state. Yesterday, I think that was Plateau or so. People died yesterday. So you can say that insecurity or this, terrorist or insecurity news is now a daily news. It happens every blessed time. The nation is grappling under food scarcity. People are hungry. And these bad guys are still killing us. 1,100 people died due to terrorist attacks, gunmen, and other non-state actors. 276 people were kidnapped. Most of them from rural communities and highways. Now, the good news, if we can call it that, is that there is a slight drop compared to May 2025. Security incidents went down by almost 48% from 895 in May to 765 in June. Facilities dropped about 14% from 1,296 to 1,101. Kidnapping case. Nigerians claim this is the good news in Nigeria about security. There is no good news at all, because I feel this figure is even wrong. It should be more than that, because every week 2,000 persons, more than 2,000 persons arrive IDP camp. Arrive people that are displaced. Can you even count? Do you know people that they did not even add people that were displaced in just June alone? They did not add it. They did not even add how many houses were burnt by these bad guys. It did not add how many people that died and burnt, they were burnt alive. Where is the president? Where is the chief of defense staff? Where are the people controlling Nigerian security? What did they use all the trillions? What did they use all the trillions they borrowed to do? What? Not even a good hospital has been built in Nigeria. Nothing. All the money Tinubu has been borrowing, what does he use it for? What? All the money he said he borrowed it for, for security purposes. What is he using it for? You borrowed trillions of naira, but still, citizens are still, weeping. Citizens are still weeping. Military men are still saying they don't have weapons. Military men are being killed because they don't have sophisticated weapons. And then you see Nigerian government borrow money every time. Tinubu has borrowed more than past presidents. Make your findings. Research on what I'm talking about now. He has borrowed more than past presidents. But look at, insecurity is at maximum. And you're telling me we have a nation. And the worst is that all this thing is happening and they are silent, they are mute. You will not see Tinubu in this kind of area. You will not see him. He'll be silent. But when it comes to River State, when power is at stake, you will see him act. But when it comes to people dying because of these bad guys, he goes silent, he stays calm and mute. But when power is at stake, when it's time for campaign, when it's time for election, you see him act. This is the kind of governments we are in. They don't care about people's life. If you're dying today or tomorrow, they don't care about whether you're dying today or tomorrow. They don't care. But when it has to do with power, you will see them, they will act fast. Tinubu can go ahead and declare state of emergency in River State and actually suspend Governor Fubara in River State for something that doesn't make sense. But he will not stop the killings in Nigeria. Now, where this violence happens the most is, North Central. It happens every part of Nigeria, every region in Nigeria. But these are the places it happens the most. North Central Nigeria, states like Plateau, Benue. These states are under siege. Like, when I mean they are under siege, is like there's no minute, there's no day you will not hear bad guys attack these states. the north central of Nigeria, Plateau State, Benue State, Niger State, and Kwara State. Here, farmer herders clashes are a major reason for the high death toll. These clashes often turn violent because of dispute of land, cattle grazing routes, and scarce water resources. These farmer herders, or these herders that carry cow up and down. Tell me, in Nigeria, where you still see cows being carried, tell me any place in other country where you still see them carrying cow up and down. Where do they carry cow? In China? Do they carry, you see cow walking about in London? But only in Nigeria you will see cow parading. Even at the airport entrance, you see cow everywhere. That's to tell you how how Nigeria is. Imagine a country. How would Nigeria be productive with this kind of system? How can cows be going from one place to another? What happened when they brought the anti-grazing bill? It was the Northerners that were against that bill. That thing would have set a demarcation to tell these Fulani people where they will carry their cow and where not to carry their cows to. Drop a comment under the comment section. Let me know what you're talking about. Let me know your thoughts on this headline. That anti-open grazing bill would have set boundaries for these Fulani herders, because these Fulani herders are using opportunity. They say they are grazing, their cattle are grazing. They used, they say they're looking for land and they're walking about the whole Nigeria, buying people, and then they will say they are grazing. That anti-grazing bill would have set boundaries for these Fulani men, but the North were against it because they know they had mission. The president was against it because he knows they have mission. I don't know why I don't know what joy Nigeria derives from looking and watching foreigners buy their people every time. I don't know the joy they derive in doing that. If Nigeria wants to end insecurity now, trust me, they will end it right now. But because of one reason or the other, they have choose to watch and look foreigners buy their people. Another region it happens the more is the northwest Nigeria. This region saw the highest number of kidnappings, accounting for more than 72% of all adoption cases in June. States like Zamfara have turned into kidnapping hub, with bandits group controlling forests and remote villages. You're asking yourself, does these bandits live you're asking yourself, does these bandits live in covens? Do they live in covens? Look, these terrorists, they walk around just like normal ordinary citizens do. They walk around the bush, they walk around forest, they have camps. These people are ordinary, they are human beings too. They are not spirits. Because you keep asking yourself, why is it that these people they buy people, they come invade the community, and then they massacre the people, and then immediately they will disappear, they will just leave freely. You'll be asking if these people are spirits, and then no security agent has catch anyone. They have not caught anyone, no arrest have been made. What is the truth behind this? There's something behind this thing. Because look at, many people are dying, but no arrest has been made. There's something hidden in this thing. Me, I feel that there are some truths hidden in all these things. How can bandits be buying Nigerians? They live in camps. Their camps are scattered all over Nigeria. Why is it that our military, armed force for that matter, cannot catch them? Cannot capture them? Why? We have to leave that question for Nigerian government. They should come out and tell us the reason behind this nonsense Nigerians is facing in this country. Insecurity is one of the reasons why Nigerians are leaving the country anyhow. Yes. How can you leave your house and then you don't come back again? How? Do you know how many people that have left their house and then they never returned? Do you know? Do you know how many missing people was reported just in June alone? Just in June. You leave your house to go and hustle. It's not like the means of survival is actually easy in Nigeria. No, there is hardship. People leave their house to go and, for hard labor, to suffer, to put food on the table for their children to eat. And then on the way, they end up being killed. It's painful. It's painful. It's painful, and then the government doesn't care. The government doesn't care. They're not acting to stop the killings. All they come out to say is enough is enough. Enough is enough, and you're not taking action. So what are you? Why are you coming out to blab? Another region where these people, invade is the northeast Nigeria, still home to Boko Haram and other insurgent groups. Do you know these Boko Haram actually have family members? They actually have family members. Boko Haram have been existing right from time until now. They are still in existence. And you're asking, what is the work of military men in Nigeria? What is their work? Or do they just enter from one AC car to another? Did they just balance at home in their mansion? What is their work? How can up till now military men are complaining of weapons? How? People they sent to Sambisa forest to fight. People they sent to Sambisa forest to fight, they are hiding. Oh, they are now hiding, saying they want to come back because these bad guys has sophisticated weapons. In the last attack that happened in Yelawata, a man said he lost his family members, about 20. A woman said she lost her 5 children. A woman said she lost her 5 children. All this is happening under the watch of a man, President Bola Tinubu, and nothing has been done. Is that right from the time of Buhari? That is why today people don't even mourn him at all. Some people are even rejoicing because they all accommodated terrorists. They watch terrorists buy people in Nigeria as if they were chickens, as if they are not human beings. That is why, ever since they said Tinubu died again, people don't even mourn him. People didn't mourn him. People went to the streets jubilating because of the accommodated bandits. How can in Nigeria, how can they finally catch these bad guys and then they grant them amnesty? How? The real terrorists. Why you can actually point out that this person murdered millions of people and then at the end they end up getting amnesty. But look at Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Somebody they call a terrorist even to date and forever. They cannot point out that this man is a terrorist. They don't have any evidence to say he's a terrorist. He's still in DSS custody for no reason, guys. You're telling me this is a nation, but the real terrorists are working freely. In fact, they grant them amnesty, they give them money. They give them money. Imagine. So what is stopping them from releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? We can actually wait for the 18th of July. Let's see what Justice James Omotosho will come up with. Let's see. He said he's gathering information. For me, I feel he shouldn't even wait to that. We shouldn't wait to that 18th because everybody has spoken. Even God has even spoken through so many people to release that man. Somebody said, Nathaniel Adima said, you have an incompetent government. That's right. Simple. They don't care. They don't have family members who are affected. Yes. All of their in fact, 90%, if not all, of Nigerian politicians, their family members are not in Nigeria. So if people are dying, if Nigerians are dying today, they don't care because their family members are not affected. Their children are based abroad. They go for medical checkup in abroad. They don't have anything to do with this country. They spoil Nigeria. Why their family gets better lives abroad. Their family members gets better lives abroad. So Nathaniel said, you have an incompetent government. That's right. Simple. They don't care. They don't have family members who are affected. That's just true. When the last attack that happened in Benue State, Yelewata, when a man came out to say that he lost his his family members, about 20 of them, do you think that the government care? Because it's not his family members. So another person said, Albert Nnamdi said, These cows are owned by northern elites, including political leaders. That is why they kept quiet. The herders are slaves working for their masters. Will you doubt what this person said? Guys, will you doubt what this person said? You cannot doubt. Where in Nigeria will you see cows? Sorry, where in London, in a productive country like London, China, will you see cows parading? Do you know that even in Ghana, guys, oh, Ghana, a fellow African country, said if they see any cow parading, they will slaughter the cow and then they will give it to prisoners to eat. That is what the man said in Ghana. But in Nigeria, you will see cows parading. It is because of these cows are owned by political leaders. This person is not wrong, this person is right. These cows are owned by northern elite. That is why, you know, they tell you that once one cow, do you know that in Nigeria, these Fulani herders come out to say that if their cow go down or even a calf go down, they'll buy 150 Nigerians, meaning a cow's life is, is equal, or a cow's life is equal to 150 persons in Nigeria. The government actually, the video went viral. What did the government do? They didn't do anything. Do you know what that person meant by saying that? That he's going to buy 150 Nigerians if a cow goes down. Meaning a cow is equivalent to 150 persons in Nigeria, and they kept silent. They kept silent. In the attack that happened in Edo State to Romi, I'm not against extrajudicial killing. You guys know the story. Let me just do a recap of what happened in Romi, Edo State. Guys, Fulani men were seen with guns and other weapons traveling. They came from a long distance. I think they say they came from Kaduna or so to Port Harcourt, but they passed Edo State, and then vigilante members actually stopped them. You seen them with a gun, what will come to your head? These people are terrorists. Nobody is after nobody is. I won't support extrajudicial killings or taking laws into your hands. No, I won't support that. But why would someone travel with guns from a far distance? What will come to your mind? They say they are hunters because those state people were fed up. These Fulani men has dealt with them. They have unalived so many people in Edo State. In fact, Edo State residents were being stabbed by these Fulani men. They were pushed to the walls and they had to do what they did. What happened? Fulani elders, all these northern elites came up and started threatening everyone in Nigeria. So they threatening the people of Edo State. But when these Fulani men were buying people in Edo State, none of them came out to say anything. Tinubu never came out to say anything. That's to tell you how they value a cow's life than to a human's life. Somebody came out and said that if a calf is down, that he's going to buy 150 Nigerians. Nobody said anything. That is how to tell you that they value a cow's life more than Nigerians. So, like I'm reading on, it says another state where where all this it affected was the northeast Nigeria, still home to Boko Haram and other insurgent groups. Even with military operations, these extremists continue to launch surprise attacks on villages and highways. In total, for the second quarter of 2025, that's April to June, the overall security incident actually, it went so high. Now, you might ask, why does this nightmare never end? Why? When we have the chief of the defense staff, we have Christopher Musa, we have army chief, we have President Bola Tinubu, a man that claimed that he's what does he even call himself? Commander-in-chief of armed force. You are the commander-in-chief of armed force, and Nigeria is battling with insecurity. We ask ourselves every time, when will this nightmare end in Nigeria? If Nigeria continues like this, there will be nothing like Nigeria in 2030. An international voice said that. He said, if Nigeria keep following this route, keep following this system, that there will be nothing called Nigeria by 2030. He did not lie. He's not saying out of prophecy. He's saying out of reality. It is happening. It is happening. We ask ourselves, when will this nightmare end in Nigeria? These are the reasons why all these things continues. Weak security infrastructure. Many rural areas have little or no police presence. If you go to tick villages, especially all these places, all these people, Kaduna, inside, there are no police, there are no even security agency. There's no security agent there safeguarding the place. In the last attack that happened in Yelewata, Tinubu said he deployed military men to go to Yelewata to secure the place. Guys, after some weeks, another attack was launched. So where are these military guys? Do they send them to Yelewata and then they go to another place to chill? After trillions borrowed every year, what did they use it to do? Is the economy? Citizens are still starving. Economy is bad. So what did they use it to do? Military guys still complain of lack of weapons. Do you think these military guys are not strong enough to face these bandits? Let me tell you, these headers are just normal people that carry cow around. They don't have strength. The only thing that gives them strength is that the weapon they use. The weapon they use, that's all. When you collect that weapon from them, they are vulnerable. Look at the groups of terrorists that actually came up during Tinubu's tenure. ISWAP and a lot of them. This is more reason why the president needs to weaponize the soldiers the more times 10, because of this, this terrorist group that coming up. Weak security infrastructure. Many rural areas have little or no police presence. Communities are left to defend themselves. It's appalling that in Nigeria, a whole armed force came up and said, we cannot protect you. We're not compatible to protect you. That is what they said. Armed force. We were expecting it. We were expecting that kind of word to be coming from police, what's it called? Police safe and vigilantes. Now, police in Nigeria, what is their job? Extortion. That is their job now. Any security outfit that cannot go to the bush to find these bad guys, that's not a security outfit, that's not a security agency. I'm telling you the truth. We cannot have all these security agents, navy, military, mention them in Nigeria. Still, Nigeria is still suffering with insecurity. Insecurity wants to wipe all the people in this country. Corruption and poor governance. That is why all these things still persist. Corruption and poor governance. Funds meant for security often get diverted or stolen. Funds used for security often gets diverted and it's stolen. Soldiers and police complain about poor weapons, delayed salaries, and lack of equipment. They won't pay soldiers well, but they will gift terrorists with vehicles, motorcycles, give them a big amount of money for a job well done in Nigeria. And you tell me that Nigeria will be better? Nigeria that will catch terrorists and give them army uniform to join the force. Why won't they spy for their members? Why? You think insecurity will stop with this system? Guys, believe me, go and mark it. Insecurity will not stop with this system Nigeria is using. Corruption and poor governance. Funds meant for security often get diverted or stolen. They will use it again, build mansion in Dubai, build industries for themselves in Dubai and in London. Money meant for security purposes to protect Nigerians, to equip soldiers, to provide better drones, good helicopters for these soldiers. They steal the money and use it to favor themselves. Soldiers and police complain about poor weapons, delayed salaries, and lack of equipment. Unemployment and poverty. Millions of young people have no job. Yes, after going to school in Nigeria, you don't get a good job. Millions of Nigerians, of young people, have no job. Some get recruited by bandits and armed group who promise quick money. Yes, now, because government is not saying anything about these bandits after they finish attack. Young people will be like, okay, this is the real deal now. Let's join. That is how you see terrorist group establishing in Nigeria. Porous borders. Porous borders. The other time, Chief of Defense Staff said that they want to that he wants to the only thing that can solve insecurity now is just to fence Nigerians' borders. And I'm looking and laughing. Wow. Is this another form of corruption that came to people's mind? You have not weaponized your soldiers. You're looking for border to fence. Yeah, border fencing can go a long way. But these bad guys that came from Chad, Cameroon, Niger, in Nigeria, their camps are scattered all over Nigeria. Why can't you find these people? If it's about getting instruments, they can help find them on drones. It's possible. First, chase them out before you want to fence the border. You have not given your soldiers gun, Godi. You have not given them sophisticated gun. You want to fence border. So that they will give you guys the money now and then you guys will eat it. That's what we see in Nigeria. Corruption. He talked about porous borders. Northern Nigeria shares long, poorly policed borders with Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. Weapons flow in easily, fueling violence. It's actually good they fence the border, but first of all, do the needful first. Due process is needed. One thing after a time. Ethnic and religious tension. People actually fight over land, grazing routes, and politics often explode into violence. Now, this is about farmer herders clash and the rest of them. This is about farmer herder clash. This Fulani, they are not supposed to bring in their cows to people's farm, people's investments. We have seen many videos online of where these Fulani people are eating up people's investments. They even go as much as using their hands to pull out the crop cassava from the roots, and then they split it and give it to their cows to eat. People's investments. And you're telling me these Fulani people are not looking for trouble? Why is it that the government cannot call their name to say, Fulani, stop this nonsense, or to caution them? They don't do it. Now, you see all these things makes it easy for terrorists, bandits, and government to strive. Is there any light at the end of the tunnel? Tinubu always comes to promise renewed hope, saying there is light ahead of the tunnel. Last year, when he was still 1 year in office, he said, give me 1 year again, that he's going to end insecurity. For where? For where? This is 2 years. Worse. Things are getting worse. People wouldn't prefer his first year than this year, guys. Things are getting worse every time. Is there actually a light or any light at all? Is there actually any light at all, no matter how dim it is, at the end of the tunnel? There is no light at the end of the tunnel. Nigeria is collapsing. Nigeria is collapsing. Experts said that Nigeria need more than just guns or checkpoints. Yes, they said Nigeria needs more than just guns or checkpoints, because the checkpoints they have in Nigeria scattered all over the states in Nigeria. These bad guys still pass and have their way. They still strive. Do they fly from heaven? They pass through checkpoints. Do they fly from heaven? They pass through checkpoints. Nigeria needs serious investment in intelligence gathering. Serious one. They need serious investment in security gathering. Two, they need better coordination between the army, police, and local security. What led to the end SARS protest has not stopped. You can argue with your keyboard. It has not stopped. Extortion, police people extort people. Even after IGP said no police should, check any Nigerian's phone, but still, it's still happening. What led to the end SARS protest has not stopped. They extort people at gunpoint. Go and check headline, news headline. You will see it. They extort people at gunpoint, police officers, and you're asking yourself, some even go ahead to kidnap, according to news published online. You're asking yourself, can you actually differentiate a policeman and a criminal? You can't. Nigeria needs better coordination between the army, police, and local security. Community dialogue to address land disputes. They actually need this too. And very importantly, jobs and education for millions of young Nigerians. Yes, because when there's no job in Nigeria, it pushes people to join bandits, start kidnapping. Until then, innocent people in Zamfara, Benue, Kaduna, Borno, and many other places will keep living in fear. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. I'm seeing all your messages. Welcome. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Stay with me as I have a lot to tell you guys. These statistics are more than numbers. They are someone's father, mother, child, or neighbor. For Nigeria to truly break free from these cycles, leaders must move beyond empty promises and tackle the root cause. They don't tackle the problem of Nigeria from the root. If Nigeria would today tackle the problem of Nigeria from the root, all this nonsense will end in Nigeria. People will start coming back to their homes. US is now populated by Nigerian people. Nigerian government don't solve the problem of Nigeria from the root. Insecurity, poverty, injustice, and corruption still strive in Nigeria. This is what we are seeing in Nigeria today. It's no longer funny. It's no longer a child's play. It's no longer a child's play. When Bola Ahmed Tinubu campaigned for presidency, that was in 2023, he made bold promises to tackle insecurity once and for all. He told Nigerians that under his watch, terrorists, bandits, and unknown gunmen would have nowhere to hide. This is the promises of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yet, the numbers tells a different story. Even though security incidents dropped in June, the total death toll and security of fear is in many communities shows that the government is still failing to protect its citizens. What exactly is the problem? Why do we still have, this insecurity matter? Empty promises. We keep hearing the same recycled statement. We will crush bandits. We will crush bandits. We will end terrorism. But where is the action plan? Where is the real investment in intelligence? Where are all the consequences for corrupt security chief who failed to deliver? Where are the consequences of corrupt security chiefs who failed to deliver, or what they know is from entering one AC car to another? Broken trust. Many communities now rely on vigilante group because our armed men, because a whole armed force cannot protect Nigerians. Many young people are now joining vigilantes to protect their community. And even at that, they don't even have weapons. They don't have weapons. Many communities now rely on vigilante group or arm. They arm themselves because they do not trust that the police or army will arrive in time, if at all. If at all they will even arrive. We have heard of many attacks. Yes, we have heard of many attacks. None of them arrived, even police. Lack of accountability. When this attack happens, you rarely see anyone resigning. No head roll. No big political figure is punished for negligence. Failure to address the root cause. Let me tell you, bandages started during the time of Buhari. Like everything started, everything actually started skyrocketing during the time of Buhari. Even till now, this Boko Haram, they're still in existence. Banditry and terrorism strive where poverty, unemployment, and hopelessness exists. Tinubu's administration has yet to show Nigerians how it plans to tackle the root economic problem that drive young men into crime. What you will hear them say is, during the time of Obasanjo, he did this, he did that. Can't you stop complaining and act in your own tenor? Banditry and terrorism strive where poverty, unemployment, and hopelessness exist. Tinubu's administration has yet to show Nigerians how it plans to tackle the root economic problem that drive young men into crime. At the end of the day, Nigerians are asking, when will we have a government that truly values every life equally? When? Whether you're in Lagos, Zamfara, Benue, Borno, until leaders stop giving excuses and start delivering real results, these grim statistics will keep repeating months after months. See, if Nigeria continues like this 1,100 Nigerians that died is even little statistics. Like, it's actually very small. If Nigerian government do not act, this figure would rise to millions in a month. I'm telling you, because these bad guys feel that the government is not saying anything. That emboldens them to act more, to attack, to launch more attack. In a day, they can actually invade 5 communities in Nigeria. Nigerian government will not see them as terrorists. But innocent people that came out to the street to say that they are hungry, their life is languishing in detention. But look at terrorists walking about freely. It's not enough to just blame bandits. If a government cannot secure its people, see, what is the work of the president? What is the work? What is the major work? Is to protect life and properties. That's his work. He's the commander-in-chief of armed forces. His duty is to, that means he should be held responsible if a soul has been, if these bandits kill one person. Tinubu should be held responsible. His duty as the commander-in-chief of armed force is to protect every Nigerians, to protect lives and properties, to protect its citizens. He just bear the name chief of what's it called, commander-in-chief of armed force, without doing anything. You're claiming you're the commander-in-chief of armed force, but look at security is at maximum. People die every time. People are being displaced. Go to IDP camp in Edo State and see the millions of people there that have been displaced in how many months? It's not enough to just blame. See, at times, self, we don't even, at times, we can't even blame these bandits because the bandits, the government is actually accommodating them. Will you have to blame them? Let's look at this perspective. Will you say you want to come and blame these bandits when your government is accommodating them? It's not your government that is supposed to say no and chase them away. Your government accommodated them. We have to blame the government, Nigerian government. We will not blame these bandits. After attacking, the government doesn't say anything, the president doesn't say anything. It's not enough to just blame bandits. If a government cannot secure its people, then it is failing in its most basic duty. Nigeria deserves better, and they must keep demanding better. Tell us in the comment section what you think about this headline. Let me know in the comment section. Now, even every administration, from Obasanjo to Buhari, blamed inherited security challenges. Let me tell you, this one will come up as president and say, during the time of Obasanjo, that insecurity was high. That is why we are seeing these bad guys. That's why insecurity is worse now. It's a lie. You see that you did not know that insecurity was high during that time. If you're coming up as president, you should have better plans to scrape these people out. That is what a president should do. From Obasanjo to Buhari, they blamed inherited security challenges. Tinubu's team repeats the same excuses. But Nigerians ask, when will leaders? They call them leaders. They are not leaders. When will leaders like communities repeatedly say they know where the bandits hide, yet the government rarely acts on local tips. Instead, billions are spent on military hardware while the grassroots security network are ignored or underfunded. Nigerians can't even travel freely without fear. There's no one that will travel through northern part of Nigeria and have, and be comfortable. There is tension everywhere. Nigerians cannot travel freely without fear. Major highway in the northwest and north central are death traps. If kidnappers can block federal roads in broad daylight, what exactly is the job of all these checkpoints? Have you asked yourself? What's the need that we have them? In fact, what is the use of military men in this country? If kidnappers can block federal roads in broad daylight, what is exactly is the job of all these checkpoints scattered all over states in this country? Unkept promises on police reforms. Tinubu's government pledged to reform the police, better training, better pay, community policing. But on ground, citizens still face the same old problems: extortion, slow response, and sometimes complicity with criminals. We have heard of policemen extorting even at gunpoint. Some even go ahead to kidnap, and you're asking yourself, what is the difference between this policeman and a criminal? What is the difference? What led to the end SARS has not stopped. It has not stopped. Police are still extorting people. Whenever a massacre happens, we hear government condemns the act. A few days later, nothing has changed. Whenever the last thing that happened, the last attack that happened in Yellow, Tinubu came and retweeted on Twitter and said he condemned the act. A few days later, another attack was launched in Yellow. Nothing has changed. Victims are left to bury their dead and move on. There is no trauma support, no compensation, no justice for families who lost everything. No, but they'll compensate terrorists who have unalived, who has displaced people in this country. There is no support or compensation of people who have lost their family members or who have lost everything, but terrorists who has killed or unalived them will be supported. They'll give them money, support them. They call it livelihood support. Nigerian government keep deceiving themselves. Everybody knows these armed groups doesn't operate in a vacuum. Everybody knows. These people are fellow human beings. These bad guys, they are also citizens. Everybody knows these armed groups don't operate in a vacuum. Who buy their bullets? Have you ever thought of that? Who buy their bullets? Who shelter them? Why are the so-called big sponsors never arrested, named or shamed? Why? Why do we only see arrests of poor foot soldiers? Why the real masterminds live freely? Somebody said terrorism is in Nigeria is government sponsored. Will you actually doubt what this person said? At this point, I won't doubt that. Because all this thing is happening and the government is silent. If the government is silent, that means they are complicit. They are complicit. If the government is silent, they're actually part of the crime. Then you will say, they are complicit to the crime that is happening. How can all this thing be happening and then they are silent? I will not doubt what this person said by terrorism in Nigeria is government sponsored. I will not doubt it at this point. I won't doubt it. These people are human beings. These people are human beings. There's this lawyer that said, Barrister Darlington, he said that, you see, the way people are dying is as if this government have joined, he said, blood, whatever, what did he even call it? Bloodbath. The way people are dying and then they are silent. They're actually complicit. They are part of it. You cannot doubt that. Whenever a massacre happens, we hear government's condemnation. We hear that government has condemned the act. A few later, nothing has changed. Victims left to bury their dead and move on. Whenever a massacre happens, we hear governments condemn the act. A few days later, nothing will change. Victims are left to bury their dead and move on. There's no trauma support, no compensation, no justice for the families who lost everything. Somebody is saying something. Princess. She said, it's a court thing and they are working for the devil. They are killing people for demons that drink blood. That is where they get their wealth and power from. The suffering of the innocent. Me, you see, things people are saying about the government, I will not doubt any of these things because it's actually people are this band. I can't even imagine how government, your people will be dying, and they are relaxed. Senators receive millions every time. You see, hey, I don't even know how to. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. We have to. There are truths to this. So how can people be dying? Your own people. It happens every blessed day time. It happens every blessed time. Like, insecurity is like a daily news. Like, it's a daily news now. Everybody's silent. They are looking. People die. No, no, no. We have to ask questions. She said it's more spiritual than physical. Now, everybody knows this armed group. They don't operate in vacuums. Their camp they are scattered everywhere. These people, these bad guys, they are not spirits, they are human beings. They are human beings. They walk around. So why is it that I've not caught them? Why? Why is it that they have not caught them? Did they live in covens? Did they live in the spirit world? Their camps are scattered all over the states in this. Why is it that our chief of defense staff, our military, has not caught them? Eh? We are tired of this country. Everybody knows this armed group. They don't operate in vacuums. Who buy their bullets? Who shelter them? So that in the last attack that happened in Yelewata, they came with gallons of fuels. Where did they get fuel from? Is it not human beings that gave them the fuel? Where did they get the fuel from? My God. You see this, eh? Why are these so-called big sponsors? Why are these so-called big sponsors? Why is it they don't arrest them? Even the chief of defense staff came out to say that he knows people that are, the people that are terrorizing Nigeria, he knows them. A list was given to him. What did he do? He sat on it. Benue State Governor Hyacinth, he came out and said the people that are sponsoring these terrorists are in Abuja, are in House of Assembly. Why is it that these people their names cannot be mentioned? Why? There is problem in this country. An international voice said, with the way things are going, there will be nothing called Nigeria in 2030. We are seeing. This is what we are seeing in Nigeria. At this point, we are tired of this government, and I don't think Nigeria will be better. I don't think this country will be better. I don't think at all. Look at Tinubu. During the time of Buhari, he came out and said, please vote for him, we need Buhari. 8 years, Nigerians suffered. Now Tinubu has come out again. Tinubu came out. Look at, he said we should give him extra year. Do you know, he's even planning 2027 election, even when people are dying. Can you imagine? You're planning 2027 when people are dying. Before to enter 2026, you're planning to come out. What can you call this, please? If you cannot fix Nigeria, why don't you step down? There's somebody that knows what is in. Go up there and fix Nigerians. Fix Nigeria. We are tired of this country. We are tired of this country. So guys, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Thank you, Princess, for subscribing to this channel. So now let's continue from where we stopped. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button, Also drop a comment under the comment section. Let's know your own thoughts on this headline. Instead of uniting the country to find solution like genuine security summits involving local leaders, vigilantes and affected communities, the government treats insecurity like a closed door affair. Meanwhile, those closest to the violence are shut out of decision. Much of this violence, the north is bleeding. The north is actually bleeding. Much of this violence happens in rural northwest, north central, and northeast communities because the victims are mostly poor farmers and villagers. Their deaths don't trend for long if these same numbers were happening in Abuja or Lagos. So guys, this is what we are seeing in this country. This is what we are seeing. How can a government look and watch foreigners buy their people every blessed time? People die every day. Imagine, just in June alone, 1,100 Nigerians were killed and then 276 were adopted under Tinubu's watch. I feel that figure is even wrong. I feel it's more than that. So guys, I've come to the end of this live session. Do want to hit that subscribe button, like and share this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.